Hey, just Mark here. Good evening. All right, so I did promise a 100 subscriber Q&A here on YouTube, and I got a few questions on the last couple of days, so I'm going to kind of try to go over them. I've got them on a kind of my other screen over here, so I may look over there once in a while just to do that. Also, I got my little handy dandy microphone. Anyways, so I'm going to start with at Virginia in the rear view. She asked about four different questions, which are absolutely amazing and wonderful. And so I guess her questions, and I don't know how to pop these up on the screen. I may learn to edit that later for my 500 subscriber if I'm lucky enough to get that far. So the first question she asked me is what kind of work I do outside of YouTube. Outside of YouTube, I actually work in the energy industry in my province, and I actually work at a call center. So my job is strictly to do customer service and talk to people for 8 hours a day. I've been there for now almost 7 years, and as much as I enjoy my job, I'm hoping to eventually seek more freedom and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I work in a call center, and I do everything from customer service to billing. Used to do collections there, and it's a very, it's a basic job. It's challenging, and I love it. And I still can't believe I've been there as long as I have, to be honest. I didn't know I would actually be there that long because call center work is very, very hard. So yeah. Now, she also asked about 5 and 10 year plans. That is something I'm starting to work on. For the last year and a half, it was more about making weekly, well, started off with daily, and then weekly, and then eventually it evolved to monthly plans, and then multiple month plans. And part of that goes back to me going through a separation and battling severe depression. There are days that I had no energy to do anything. So my therapist had said, start making, daily plans. Even if it's something as simple as, today I am going to get up and have a shower, or go for a 20-minute walk, or get out of the house, or go and be social. And so those have evolved. I have worked on starting a 3-year plan, actually, because I think over the next 3 years before I'm 50, there's a lot for me that I want to accomplish. And when I'm thinking about the 3-year plans, I've actually put down detailed travel plans with places I want to go and the time of year I want to go, and how I'm going to save for those trips. I have also set out some 1 and 2 and 3 year goals now for my YouTube channel, because although it's been a bit of a slow growth so far, I'm loving it, and I think given time, I can have this channel monetized, and maybe that'll help me create some of the freedom I desire. But yeah, no, I have started on the 3-year plan, because I do feel now that I'm not totally over depression, but I'm stronger than I was. It gives me the feeling that I can do this. I can have some opportunities if I push myself as far as I can. And I do know all about goal setting. I did that a lot in my younger years, and I think now's the time. And I will kind of maybe go into more details in an actual YouTube video on that, because I don't have everything sorted out yet. It's only recently that I've started making longer term plans. I do know one of my biggest plans or goals in the next 2 years is to get back into home ownership. I did own a home for a couple years, and I want to get back into home ownership so that I can get a backyard for my dog. I really want a backyard for my dog. She's 85 pounds. She's amazing. And that actually kind of leads to her next question. Do I have any pets? I have a wonderful dog named Trixie. I've had her for just 2.5 years now, and she just walked by me because one of my roommate's children is home, and she wants to go see them. And I'm going to come back in just a moment. All right, this is now 3 minutes from now, Mark, coming back to answer that question. So as I mentioned, I do have a dog. Her name is Trixie, and I'm going to put some photos up here with her. I got her when she was 12 weeks old at the Humane Society, and I actually never had planned on getting a dog ever, and she was an impulse decision. I'd always kind of went to the Humane Society, dropped off food and donations and stuff like that. And this time I went with one of my neighbor's kids. Oh, there she is, just walking down, see? Because he wanted to look at cats, and he actually saw her first and said, "Hey Mark, come check out this dog. She's really calm and quiet." And I'd say it took me a minute and a half, and I knew that she was my girl. In fact, here's the picture of when I first well, not when she first went back into the kennel after she came out and met me and that kind of stuff. It was this face that made me want to get this dog. And she has been my shadow. She is my lifelong friend. She is definitely my soul dog. She's my best friend. And she has helped me get through so much in the last year and a half that I honestly don't know where my life would be if she wasn't here. She's amazing, sweet, kind to other dogs, very friendly, loves kids. So yeah, that's her. And at Virginia in the review, you also asked about my dream vacation. So I kind of took it last year. I've always dreamt of going to Italy. I do have a dream of going to Italy again, but for a longer term. I quite literally had 9 days. And I landed in Rome, spent some time there, got to go see the Colosseum, ate a ton of food. I probably gained like 20 pounds. And I made the trip intense, but I made it worth my while for me. Traveling solo, I was able to just go on the fly. I booked the hotels as I kind of went along. I just knew when I was arriving in Italy and when I was leaving. And hey, Trixie. And so I went to Rome, I went to Florence, I went to Venice, and I went to Cinque Terre for a 1-day trip. And I'll post a couple pictures up here as I talk. But that trip was something I had dreamed of. And I actually spent my 47th birthday in Rome, which was like such an amazing experience for me. I thought, oh, I'm going to spend my birthday alone. But it turns out at the restaurant I was at, I met another man who was turning 50. So we drank, we had food, we sang, we danced. I joined their group of friends. So it was a great way to celebrate our birthday. And the whole restaurant sang to us, which was really cool, like all the other guests and stuff. So that was my dream trip. I do want to go back because a part of the trip, or a part of what I'd love to see, are the Dolomites. And I would like to travel the Tuscany region a little bit more and experience more of the food and the dining. And well, I guess food and dining go hand in hand. And a little more of the wine drinking. I did take a cooking class in Florence, so that was a lot of fun. But I'd say if I had one more dream trip, it would be to do a safari in Africa. Now, that's something I'd have to save a long time for, but I think that's more of a retirement goal for myself. Maybe that'd be my retirement gift. So now I want to go on to at Arthur Colorway. Did I say that right, Arthur? I think I did. You asked me what keeps me going when you have no one. I'm a single guy, as I've mentioned numerous times. And, you asked, like, how'd you put it? But what keeps you going when you have no one and not a single person to give support or an encouraging word? So the trick with that is I'd rather be alone and happy and doing things than be around a bunch of people who make my life negative. I spent a lot of time around negative people when I was in my previous relationship, and I don't want that anymore. Now, you'll find, and I'm more than willing to have another chat with you, Arthur, that when you are alone, the people who want to be around you are going to be around you. I have found a great network of friends in the last year and a half, and I don't see them all the time, but they check in on me, and I've got my roommate, of course, upstairs, who I've known for 20 years. And I find also when it comes to being alone, the more I reach out and the more I encourage other people, the more they draw back, and they do the same thing for me. I'm a big believer in sometimes you have to be there for people when they're at their lowest, because who knows when you're going to need those same people. And you'd be surprised. There's people I thought who would be there for me when I was struggling and feeling very, very alone that weren't there. People I'd known for so long. And then there were people I hadn't known very long who stepped up, and they've been encouraging. But I've also been the guy who encourages other people. I sometimes have reached out too often and made myself too busy helping other people. But I think I keep going because even if nobody did reach out and nobody was there, I keep going because I want a better life. I want to be happy again. I want, and I'm happy, but battling depression was hard, and I wanted to get out of that funk, and I wanted to be happy. I want to achieve my goals, whether it's in my career, stretching out and doing YouTube, and buying a home. I think part of what keeps me going is that loneliness is something that you can push through. And I'm scared to get out and go meet new people. Absolutely. I'm an extrovert and I'm so scared to go meet new people. Another thing that keeps me going, honestly, is having my dog. You know, there are times when I couldn't talk to anybody and nobody was there to talk to at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And she was right there. She doesn't talk back, but man, she'd cuddle in, she'd listen. She would lick my tears away when I was crying. You know, there's a lot of reasons to keep going. I value my life, and I value living, and I value just trying to learn to thrive, and I value making mistakes. But I think when you have no one, like you don't have a partner, and I think that's maybe where you're a little more geared towards in that question, you know, because we all want to be loved and accepted by someone, but I would rather be alone than have a partner that drags me down. And I'd rather be alone than have friends who drag me down. And I'm more selective now than I've ever been with the people I give my time to, because I want positivity. I don't want negativity. I don't want drama. I don't want that crap anymore. I'm too old for that shit. Pardon the language, but really that's what it is. Yeah, no, Arthur, I'd love to actually, I'm going to reach out to you again, because I think there's more to that question. I'd love to encourage you a little bit. Because I think that's a big part of life. And that's even, Arthur, why I started doing this YouTube channel. I wanted to reach out to more people and encourage other people and maybe help people get through what I went through and share my life experience. All right, let's go on to @UraF16. And that person asked, would you have changed your mind if you watched this video when you were 20? And that was my Don't Waste Your Life video. There are definitely parts that I would have listened to. There are parts that I know I was given advice, mostly by my dad, that I didn't listen to. You know, I wish I had learned to, I wish someone had told me that I don't need to stay at a job because I'm miserable or because I need a paycheck. I stuck around at way too many jobs because I needed a paycheck and I wasn't confident enough to go look for other jobs. I wish more people had encouraged me to step out more on that. And then when it comes to relationships, which it seemed to hit home with a lot of people who watched the video, based on the comments, I definitely wish, and this goes back with receiving advice, but also being a little more confident in myself. I wish I didn't want or had the need to be loved so much, back in when I was younger especially, because I think I would have stepped out if I didn't feel I needed to be connected. But it was also being a guy who was trying to give whoever I was with the best I could, even though in most cases it was never enough. I really wish someone had told me you don't need to stick in a relationship where you don't feel valued or appreciated or loved or cared for. I wish someone told me that it's not about competition. When you're with somebody, you know, got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever, I know, you know, it shouldn't be a competition. And I wish people had told me that, because I always felt like that's what I had to do. I had to compete with these other guys all the time, every time I was in a relationship, and it wasn't fun. I was terrible. I mean, I even remember after one of the breakups, I sat there and I was slept in my car for 2 nights. Not a single person knew what had happened. I was too ashamed and I was too embarrassed, and I felt like I'd failed. And when it comes to even just people in general, I don't know so much if I would have listened to advice, because I was a people pleaser. I am a people pleaser. And I think I still would have spent a lot of time trying to connect with people. So if someone said, get away from that crowd or that group or that whatever, I think I still would have pushed and tried to be friends and tried to encourage them and try to be involved. Because most of my life, I never felt like I ever really fit in anywhere. I was always like that kind of person people knew. You know, I have a very small group of friends, but I know a lot of people. And that's not always a good thing. Because sometimes you give your energy to the wrong people. So no, I don't. I think it's a mix of I would have listened to some of it, but I know I didn't listen to some things that my dad especially told me. You know, I didn't listen to some of the advice a couple friends gave me in terms of getting out of my relationships. I had a couple friends in a few different relationships tell me, dude, this girl is bad for you. Or she doesn't seem to like your friend, so why are you with her? Or, you know, dude, I don't see you anymore because you never come out. And that was a product of not having someone who was interdependent of me, and I was slightly codependent on them as well. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question. If not, please elaborate a little bit more, and I'll see if I can answer that a little bit more for you. Let's see who else I have. I have at Upcoming Jedi. Love the username. You asked, you kind of asked more so in a comment than a question about my car that I posted the other day when it got hit and it's damaged. It's a possession, it doesn't matter, you know. But that's the truth. I've lost many possessions in my life, and I've lost many people. I would rather lose a possession than lose a person, and cars are replaceable. Cameras are replaceable. You know, kitchen tables, vacuums, TVs, they're all replaceable. But other things are not. Like, I'm thankful that even though that young girl who hit my car, she hit my car and it kind of sucks, but I'm thankful she was okay. And she wasn't hurt, she wasn't injured as far as I'm aware. That's what I was told. You know, and that was the first thing I asked. Heck, I was surprised my car got hit, because, I mean, the officer showed up at 8 in the morning and, you know, hey, are you Mark? And I'm going, what did I do? Don't worry, I don't rob any banks or any of that kind of stuff. But I think that there is, I value time, I value experiences, and I value people and creatures more than I value anything. If I lost every single item I own today, I know I'd be fine. And it wouldn't matter, because eventually I can replace it. You know, there's always more money in the world, there's always more possessions in the world, but you run out of time and you run out of engagement with people. And that's why I even posted my video yesterday about my family. You know, it's a good question. It's a hard question, but yeah. I think when it comes to all these questions, just to summarize, because there were only a few this time, and I'm hoping I get even more as I go along. I was thinking of something the other day, and this relates to the careers and the relationships. You don't always have to stay stuck, and you shouldn't be asking for permission to live. It's really that simple. And in jobs and relationships, I felt stuck many times, and I felt like I had to, you know, ask to do stuff, ask to be somewhere. But yeah, oh my gosh, like, thank you for these questions. They made me think a lot, and I've been thinking about them all day. I tried to get this video out earlier, however, certain things kind of came up earlier, and I needed actually a nap after work. I don't get that tired that often, but I was exhausted from my weekend with family, and that's not a bad thing. I loved it. So anyways, if you guys have more questions, I'm willing to answer along the way. I do respond to every comment, or I have so far. So please keep them coming. And if you have any advice for my channel, things you'd like me to talk about, let me know. I would love to expand, and I've looked at a few video ideas, but again, I'm still learning. You know, here I am as of today. Let's just see here. I'm at 138 subscribers. A month ago, I had 13. You know, it's crazy. And today or yesterday was my official 3 months on YouTube. So I'm going to keep growing. I'm going to keep trying. You know, obviously one video kind of took off a bit. I'm hoping to gain a few more with some other videos I have planned. But yeah, anyways, thank you for the questions. Keep commenting, you know, like, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Cheers.